Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to Stars, Stripes, and Insights, the U.S. Mission to the UAE podcast. I'm your host, Daleya Uddin. And to celebrate Emirati Women's Day on August 28th, I'm very excited to announce our upcoming Regional Women's Economic Empowerment Summit and the launch of our podcast. Today, we're excited to host AlDhabi AlMheiri, our youngest Women Innovators Fellow in the UAE. AlDhabi is a groundbreaking alumni of our WIN Fellowship Program, which is implemented in partnership with the Atlantic Council and Georgetown Business School. AlDhabi is the founder of Rainbow Chimney. She's the youngest Emirati publisher and entrepreneur, and the youngest female to publish a bilingual book series. She's absolutely amazing. The Women Economic Empowerment Summit, We Empower, will take place September 17th through 19th in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Sharjah, and will bring together high-level policymakers, alumni of our Women's Economic Empowerment Program, such as AlDhabi, the private sector, media, and creative industries. So we're very excited to discuss strategies to improve women and youth economic empowerment in the region during the summit. And with that, we'll get started with our discussion with AlDhabi. Welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about your inspiration to start your own business and become the youngest entrepreneur in the UAE?
Firstly, I am really excited to be here today. And further on, I think I'm gonna start. When I started my business, we know that every business is a solution to a problem. So I had a problem. And the problem is that, as we know, all children love sticking to electronics. So I came up with an idea to start my business, Rainbow Chimney, to show children who they actually are, to show that they can achieve their dreams.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I mean, that's a challenge we have with my nephew and others who are on the screen all day. But that's very insightful of you to have noticed that pattern problem and to think of a solution to that. And how did it feel to be recognized by the Guinness World Records? What was that experience like for you, and how did that impact your business?
Firstly, it was an honor, and this showed me that even if I can do it, that means all other children have rights to do so. If they have additional needs, or if they're not sure how to read, we can always learn. We can always improvise. We can always face challenges.
That's true. And I saw that you did a lot of activities with youth engagement during COP28. True. You were one of the youth leaders, and our Consulate General and others attended the events that you organized, and you brought together a lot of students from around the UAE. And speaking of challenges, can you tell us a little bit about the big moments or challenges you've faced while building your business, and how did you overcome those challenges?
Start with, I have took many big steps in life, but in all of those steps, maybe I falled back, maybe I've learned. But to me, I don't either win or lose. I only win or learn.
That's a great attitude.
But I think there has been many challenges, but alhamdulillah, I've been able to overface all of them. I haven't just given up on my dreams just for one small reason. And something that I always would like to tell myself in the future, and even now I'm still telling myself, if you ever get stuck with a problem, never give up, because every problem has a solution behind it.
That's a very innovative approach to dealing with that. And then you were part of our inaugural Women Innovators Fellowship program here in the UAE, and you were selected amongst the top performers to travel to Washington and New York and participate in the graduation roadshow with alumni from Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, as well as the UAE. What did you learn from that trip, and what was the most fun part of it? Did you get to do anything beyond the training?
So beyond the training, the training was already fun. The teachers and the people who educated us a little bit more about entrepreneurship and business, they were straightforward. They teached us lots of information and they showed us many things. At the same time, as I was being at Washington and Georgetown University, was an honor to be representing my country as a WIN Fellow from the UAE. And secondly, being at Washington, D.C. and Georgetown University was a dream. I met many professors and educators who taught me more about entrepreneurship, and it was a very great moment to remember. And thirdly, I think one of my favorite parts was probably when we went to New York. I could just see from the city how all of those businesses and entrepreneurs just took a big leap and fell again, and then kept working hard to achieve their dreams. And it's honestly just an amazing moment. And I think also another thing that I did enjoy about New York is when I met many publishers and entrepreneurs, and it was a nice last day to enjoy and to meet others.
That's great. I'm glad you had the opportunity to meet with experts in your field. New York is an amazing city, and one of the things that stands out in the U.S. entrepreneurship ecosystem is failure is a good thing because you can learn from it, and that's encouraged, and that allows the kind of innovation that the U.S. is famous for, and that energy is coming to the UAE as well with more support for the entrepreneurship ecosystem, whether it's through the mission programs or what the UAE government is doing. Could you share some advice to other children who might dream of starting their own business? What do you wish you had known when you had started on your journey?
I think one message that I would like to tell them is that never ever give up on your dreams with determination and passion. And one advice that I would actually give them is that no matter what's in your way, challenges, faces, problems, it can be anything in life, never give up, because on the other side of that challenge, there's always a success or a big leap to something that you would love, something that's good and something that you would enjoy. I think one thing that I would wish I would have told myself when I started my business is that always make sure that what you're listening is true. And trust, I think, is the most important thing when it comes to businesses. I could just imagine if there was no trust in anything, there would be no businesses, no food, no nothing. There would be no electricity, no power lines. So sometimes we can't always trust everyone. But also there are some people who we can trust. That doesn't mean that there are many people who are wrong and people who we can't trust. But the only thing is that you need to learn from mistakes. When you learn from mistakes, make sure you trust the right person with what you have.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about your future plans for your business, and how do you balance all of the responsibilities that you have as a 10-year-old, including going to school, your friends, and making sure that your business is growing?
I think any of my future plans is continue doing what I'm doing and to send my message to all the children around the world, because I want to share their voices to the world, to show them who they truly are, if they're autism or if they have difficulties, that never means that a child can't do it. And I think this also includes a parent, because the parent is the decision maker. The parent is the person who puts money in this. And I would like to thank my parents a lot for believing in me and trusting me on basically making my whole bookshop, making books, showing children who they really are. And this shows me that parents are more than just parents. They're family. And I think how I would stable with communicating with my family, my friends, or anybody. I always have a calendar.
That's amazing. It's very important to be organized.
Yeah. And I know that family has a time, work has a time, friends have a time, and school or work has a time. So I think it's very important, firstly, to keep yourself organized, and also to give people a time from you to them, sometimes even.
That's great. Since it's Emirati Women's Day, do you have, I know there's a lot of inspirational women in the UAE, and your family has been very supportive, including your mom, but is there anyone else that you kind of consider a role model in the UAE?
Honestly, to me, I would like to thank Her Highness Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak for empowering women and children in many topics, and to show them that they are worthy of doing what they love. At the same time, I would love to thank my family, my parents, my siblings, for helping me, for being in this adventure of entrepreneurship with me.
Great. Thank you. Any last words?
I think any last words I would say is probably never stop encouraging other people who are in front of you.
Thank you. Thank you for being such an inspiration to all Emirati youth and being a trailblazer as a female entrepreneur. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and wish everyone from the U.S. Mission a happy Emirati Women's Day.